This is the third episode of how to use the Kraken template. In this one, we'll be going over config.cpp file. This file is where you will set up all your different devices, so your motors, your pneumatics, your bumper switches, limit switches, rotation sensors, all sensors, motors, pneumatics, basically. So there's not a whole lot to it, but in your initialize devices function, this is where you'll set them all up. So to create a motor, as you can see here, you do motor.newMotor, and then you will give it a name within quotation marks, and then you'll give it the port, and just like the chassis ports, if you make it a negative, it'll be reversed. And then you'll link it to a button. So in this case, it's to the B button, but like the Auton select button, you can do L1, L2, R2, R1, A, B, X, Y, up, down, left, right. And then the type, there's on press and on new press. On new press is more like a toggle, so that's really good for pneumatics that you want to toggle. On press means you have to hold it to move it, and then when you let go, it'll stop. Versus on press, you just press it once, and the motor will keep moving until you press it again. For a pneumatic, you do ADI digital out dot new ADI, and then you once again give it a name, so solenoid as an example, and then you pass a port, and these are the 3-wire ones, so they have different ports. They use a character, and so you can give it an A or B, C, D, E, F, G, I think it goes up to, maybe H. And then you again pass it a button, so E, controller, digital, and then here it'll show you all the options. Let's go with R1. So that's the top right bumper button. And then the press type will go on new press. You can do tab to auto-complete it out. Toggle mode. Toggle mode is whether it should be toggleable or not. So do you want to press the button and it extends and you press it again for it to retract, or if you just want to press it and hold for it to be extended and you let go and it retracts. So you will most likely want this to be true, and then bool reverse true. And it's giving us an error. Okay, so this isn't supposed to be a true. This is a in toggle mode. That should work. And then I'm just going to go over rotation sensors. All sensors are pretty similar, so you do rotation, new rotation. Again, pass a name. And a port. This one's a number. We'll go port 2. Actually, yeah, that's all you need. So now, like in your Auton or your main file, you can access this. We'll go over that in the Auton file one. For motors, you also probably want to be able to reverse it, so make it go in the other direction. And for that, you just add some more parameters. So you add a different button. So this time we'll do E control digital. Let's do A, and then again a press type, so we'll just do on press again. So now when you press A, it'll go in the opposite direction. Yeah, I think. So then, yeah, for solenoids, you just press R1 again and it'll retract. Yeah, so you can add as many motors and solenoids as you want, as long make sure you follow the rules. There's no checks in the code if you follow the rules or not. But also you need to know what the name of the motor is so that you can access the motor later, or you can just come back to your config file to look it up later. And then this is the print to the brain task, so this will continuously run throughout. So right for now it just prints these 3 lines on the line 1. The format is 0 through, I think there's 7 lines, so 0 through 6. The first one is just Kraken template, and then the next one, this is an important one, especially when setting up for a match, is the auton name that you are wanting to run currently, and then the description that you create for that auton, and then it gives you the current IMU heading, which can be useful for debugging or making sure it's not going crazy and just rapidly changing for some reason. And you're welcome to add more lines. It is, I believe, 7 lines by 28 characters, I think. So make sure you fit within that. And you can also, I believe, add a second parameter that is where you want to start the characters. Okay, never mind, take that back, you can't. And then, so at this point, you can build and upload it to your robot and get driving. You don't have any autons yet, but everything should be working for driving. Make sure if you see this little dot up on your files, that means they're not saved, so Command S or Control S to save them, and then you can either go over here to the pros menu to build and upload, or this pros symbol here will build and upload. One quick thing I forgot is once you have created your devices here, mainly it's these two we'll be looking at, you want to come back over to your main.cpp file and under OP control, so you can see we've already added this motor, but now we want to do ADI digital out .op control. This allows you to control it during driver control period, and you're just going to put in whatever name you did over here. So you can just copy it over. In this case we did solenoid, paste it, and you want to do this for all your solenoids and all your motors, and make sure you end all lines with a semicolon. This makes it so you can control them. Now you should be able to drive. And then if you do want to access like the rotation value during this, we can just do something like if you want to move this motor only if the rotation is at a certain angle, you can do if rotation.get rotation. Now you pass in the name of it, rotation, dot get there's a bunch of different ones. We'll just go with angle, parentheses, call that function, is less than, say, 10. Then you can just move this up there, and now you can only move that motor with the buttons if your rotation sensor is outputting less than 10 degrees. That's just one possible use for this. There's a bunch of other ones, other sensors you can use, or ways to do this. The next video will be on auton.cpp,